Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now behind me is my Alpine A290 GTS Plus Long-Termer. I can't believe I've been running that car now for 4 months. And on the whole, I've absolutely loved every day and every mile. I thought I would bring you an update because I've had a bit of a disaster, something quite cool's happened, and something I hadn't expected from running that car for such a long time has happened. What do you reckon? Should we let them know what it is? Now, if you've been following my journey with the Alpine A290, you'll probably know that actually the first car I had as a long-termer was blue, in Alpine blue. I only had that car for a few weeks, and then it was swapped out because it had come to the end of its press fleet life and replaced with this, the new A290 GTS Plus model in this frozen grey colour with the red accents around the wheels and down the side. And I must say, I absolutely love the way this car looks, and it gets so many comments. People just think it looks really cool. I know some of you aren't that keen with the red accent around the wheels. You can get it in blue. I think the blue and frozen grey looks really cool. But the first ownership experience I want to talk about is this frozen paint. Now, first up, washing cars at the moment in the UK, depending on where you live, is a bit challenging because we've had a hugely long and very hot, dry summer. And in many parts of the UK, we have hosepipe bans, so you can't wash your car anyway. Here in Chichester, we don't have a hosepipe ban. We very rarely get them because our water generally comes from a borehole, but I am trying to be considerate as to when and where I wash my car. This car hasn't been washed for a few weeks now, so you can kind of see it needs one really. It's a bit dusty and a bit mucky, so apologies for that. But when you do wash it, you do need to take care and mind this paintwork. But I do love a frozen coloured paint. Because as I'm sure you know, my Spider has frozen paint, although it doesn't. Underneath here is normal gloss Porsche crayon paint, but this is a satin PPF, so you get the look of frozen paint or a satin finish car, but with a much better, if you like, in-life, usable, live-with experience, because this is really easy to keep clean. Not only do you get the benefit of it being paint protection film and looking after the paint underneath, it's just much easier to keep clean. I can quickly wash this car using a jet wash and a mitt and some shampoo, but if it's not too dirty, you can use quick detailer, waterless wash on it, and it comes up absolutely lovely. But as you can see, with my Spider, that is a PPF, a satin PPF, and looking after that car is so easy. This is the actual paint, and you just need to be super careful. If you get bird poo on this car, you need to clean it off as soon as you can. And when you're washing the car, you just need to be a little bit careful. Even if the hose pipe, sometimes you'll be moving the hose pipe or your jet wash hose around, it'll bang against the car. You can scratch the paint so easily. So if I was buying a car with my own money, much as I love the spec of this car, I'm not so sure I would buy it with frozen paint. If I wanted this look, I'd go gloss paint and then put a satin PPF on it. So that's the first thing. Love the car, love how it looks, not sure frozen paint is for me. Now, I've filmed with one of these lots of times now, and every time I do, I end up talking about the tyres, because these tyres were specifically designed for the A290 by Michelin. They have 3 different tyres. There's a Pilot Sport S5 with an A29 marking for the top level GTS. There's a Pilot Sport EV for the lower powered models, again A29 marked. And then there's also an Alpine 5 winter tyre, A29 marked. And that is brilliant because especially the S5, which is their OEM fit tyre, is one of the best tyres on the market. However, had a bit of a challenge recently. So the little A290 has been off the road for the last 2 and a bit weeks. It's been sat in the garage because we've had a bit of a problem. Let me just explain. That's the problem. Just there. A screw or nail in the tyre, and it's so close to the sidewall it's not repairable, so that means a new tyre. Now, I wonder if, because it's not deflated at all, and I thought, wonder if it's just in the tread block, because I've had that before, and I tried to wiggle it with a pair of pliers and you could hear air escaping, so I thought, no, that's not good. So I think, okay, I'll just get some new tyres. Now, because it's a long-termer, new tyre replacement is on me, that's fine. But they are Michelin's, they are Pilot Sport 5s, and they are A29 marked specific tyres. So I could have gone to my local Alpine dealer to see if they had any, or I could have gone to a local tyre replacement company to see if they had any. But I'm a brand ambassador for Michelin, so I reached out to Michelin to get them to send me a tyre. And it's actually taken 2 weeks. We had to get that tyre shipped from France. So I've had it sent to my local Pro Tyre place at Southbourne Tyres. So I'm heading off to get it fitted. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that when we get there. Now I've come along to Southbourne Tyre and Auto. They're part of the Pro Tyre group. These guys have looked after my tyres and puncture repairs forever. They are a brilliant team, always really, really helpful, especially if you wanted like a Black Circles order. You can just let them know they're coming and then they'll fit them for you. They are a brilliant team. So let's head on inside. The car's here. Now I kept a close eye on the tyre pressure monitoring system on the way over, and it's only down at like 1.8, 1.9 bar, so it's not dropped a lot, and it's been sat in the garage for 2 and a bit weeks, so it shouldn't be too much of a hole in the tyre. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Okay, so here it is. Now, this is the issue. So these are OEM specific Pilot Sport S5 tyre with an A29 marking on them, specific for the A290, and they are a brilliant tyre. The only challenge is supply. But this one has come all the way over from French France, and it's ready to go on the car. Have a look at the culprit. Look at that bad boy. Oh dear. She's leaking. She's leaking. She's off. Let's see the damage.
Just about see it.
Oh man. That, I mean, it's too close to the sidewall to fix anyway, but that is just... And as if by magic, just half an hour later, we have 4 tyres on the car that don't have punctures. Massive thank you to Sean and Sam from Southbourne Tyres. Brilliant service. If you're in this area, the kind of Chichester area, and you need someone who really knows what they're doing to do your tyres, come here. Quick one, I only changed 1 tyre because this car's only just done over 1,000 miles. So the other tyre is so new, I could just about get away with just replacing 1 tyre on an axle. Normally I would replace tyres in pairs. But yeah, the tyre is done, and we can get back to enjoying the little A290. I don't know what it is with me and press cars and punctures. Just get so many. Anyway, it's not all quite as bad as you would think. This morning, I rang round my 3 local Alpine dealers. So Southampton and Winchester didn't have the A29 marked Pilot Sport S5 in stock, but said that they could get it within 2 to 3 days. Weybridge had some on the shelf, so I would have been able to literally get it done there and then. The reason I went to Michelin is because I'm a brand ambassador, and that's why I went down that route. So I think best case scenario, you're going to be lucky your local dealer has one on the shelf. Middle case scenario, 2 to 3 days. Maybe if they need to get them brought over from France, a little bit longer. Now, my issue is that this isn't my only car. I'm lucky enough to be in the position where I could put this car in the garage for what happened to be ending up a couple of weeks, and that wasn't a problem. I had other cars to run. If it's your only car, then it just becomes a real pain in the bum. And if you were on a road trip somewhere, that for me is where it could possibly go a little bit wrong. Now, could you put a non-A29 Michelin tyre on the car? Of course you could. You could put any tyre as long as it's the right size and speed rating. However, they are the OEM fitment tyres, and they're the tyres that you really should put on the car. But it was quite interesting. My thought when I got this car was I'd be really interested to see what happens if I ever need to change a tyre. And guess what? I needed to change a tyre. It's all sorted now. Tyres all good. Again, massive thanks to Michelin for sorting me out with a tyre, and also Southbourne Tyres for their great service. Now, next thing is a little bit less challenging, but when I last did an update, one of the things that I said drove me absolutely mad about this car is the fact that it's got no cup holders. Now, one of the things I love most about the A290, even over and above the Renault R5, is the interior. The seats look great, the steering wheel works for me, everything's brilliant. The challenge is there's nowhere to put any kind of drink. You can just about put a bottle in the door bin, but if you're buying a coffee on your way to work, or you wanted some water with you on a road trip, there's just nowhere for it to go, because this center console, unlike the R5, has the gear selector there from the A110 and a wireless charge mat. After the last video dropped, a guy called Damien messaged me on Instagram and said, I have a solution for you. Now, he'd got an A290 and was also annoyed at the lack of cup holders, but his mate had a 3D printer, so they set about trying to design a 3D printed cup holder that could fit somewhere in the car. They've refined their design and they've come up with this. This is 3D printed in the UK, and it slots in here just above the wireless charge mat. Now you can put it in there and just leave it. They actually put some little tack points here so it'll stick in place so it won't move. But what I love about that is, first things first, the wireless charge mat is still operable because you just slide your phone in underneath it, even though the wireless charge mat in this phone is a little bit intermittent. But then when you get your drink, you just put it there. Absolutely genius. You're also still able to access the USB-C port that's just behind it. It's such a simple design. And the really cool thing as well is they've even customized it. I don't know if you can see that. It's got my logo in there, which is super cool. So that is just such a clever bit of design. And you can buy them on eBay for 38 quid. So if you've got an Alpine A290 and you want a cup holder to put your coffee in on the way to work, I'll put all the links in the description below and in the pinned comment. It's not really a sponsored video, but massive thank you to Damien for sending me that. Absolutely cool. And he's also had a play on his 3D printer and created this amazing 3D Petrol Ped logo. Absolutely love that. Just a brilliant thing. That will be pride of place on my office desk. But yes, I now have a cup holder in the A290. So I've got tyres that keep air in them. I've got somewhere to put my coffee in the morning. But the bit I kind of didn't realise just what an impact it would have is the fact that I can do this at home. So we're charging this car from our 7 kilowatt charger at home. I think I mentioned it in the last video. The charger itself, or the charge point, is inside the garage. And that was always a real pain because I had to have a car parked in one of the garage bays to charge it. But then I found this extender charge cable, and that has been a complete game changer, because now I can have two cars in the garage and I can charge this car outside, which many of you would probably think was a more sensible thing to do anyway, just in case the worst thing happened. But we're generally using this car as a local runaround, and at the moment we're kind of putting a charge into it maybe once a week. It's getting us around about 170 to 180 miles on a full charge, and I reckon that's saving us at least £200 a month. You probably put a charge into this car for less than £10, and if I was putting petrol in my car at the moment here in the UK, then I'm probably going to be paying, I don't know, 40 to 50 pounds for that, something along those lines. And bearing in mind the car we would have been using a lot of the time would be the Macan, which is terrible at fuel economy. The little my Mini Roadster is actually not too bad, but if we're using the Macan compared with this, the savings are huge. So the extender cable has made a huge difference, proper game changer. But that ability to charge your car at home is a real bonus. And I know that there are many of you watching this probably that haven't got the luxury of having off-street parking, having their own charger at home. And if you are having to use public infrastructure, even though that infrastructure is getting better and better and rapid chargers are more and more available, or this car only does 100 kilowatt charging, the cost of public charging at the moment in the UK is a scandal, in my opinion. You could be paying anything from, if you haven't got one of the preferential deals, you could easily be paying 80 or 90 pence per kilowatt hour, which is horrific. And if you're doing that, you're not going to be saving any money at all. You know, the best bit about this car is driving it. Get in it, straight into sport mode for me. I know it doesn't do great things for the efficiency, and then just get on it. It's got such a lovely darty feel to it. One of the things I don't think I've talked about in any of the videos, by the way, is the overtake button. I think it's quick enough as it is, but when you push the overtake button for 10 seconds, you get everything. You get all the beans. Very useful for overtaking, as you can imagine. But it is a car that just, wherever you're driving, it just puts a smile on your face. I love the My Perso button. Let's just quickly click that, because I've not clicked that in. And you can just start chucking it round corners. It has such good handling, this car. It's an absolute riot. I've still got a couple of months left with the car. If you've got anything you'd like to know about, any tests you want me to do, I still need to take it to some really cool roads. I might do that in a few weeks' time. But put it in the comments below. Any suggestions? Got another 2 months with this car. Let's put it through its paces. Hopefully we won't get any more punctures. I've got somewhere to put my coffee. Life is good, right? Anyway, if you enjoyed that one, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next film. You take care, guys. Drive safe.